Yeah! Broadcasting live and on the earth. Welcome to the very special NHL skills competition coming from Nashville 2006. Team SFTP is here.
Good save.
Mr. Jake will be joining us. We'll be taking...
What's up?
What's going on? Are you enjoying the show, Mr. Jake Link? We're live right now.
All right, yeah. What's going on?
How bad did JohnScott screw up this whole thing? I mean, nobody liked it. It was a complete joke. Everybody was really upset that JohnScott was there. How much did the NHL should have done something about this? They should have kept JohnScott out of the lineup.
Yeah, I mean, I think the NHL.
The NHL, they should just file for bankruptcy now.
Yeah, I really think the league should fold.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a shame what he did.
Yeah.
He can't.
Embarrassing himself with and
his kids won't be proud of him.
His kids won't be proud of him either. It's unbelievable.
He should just hang up the skates.
JohnScott, I'm going to say this right now. JohnScott did more for this league than any other player in the last 20 years tonight.
Yeah, of course. He's like a Rudy.
That's one of the videos that I used actually when I was supporting him.
Everybody putting their jerseys on the coach's desk.
And we guessed right too. I mean, I had a little inside for somebody that was actually close to the Arizona Coyotes, and they told him day one, don't listen to the league.
Just one.
Yeah, well, they told him day one, don't listen to the league, just do it. And he was like, nah, man, that ain't right. That ain't right to you guys. When it coming from you guys. And then it wasn't up until, according to JohnScott, when he wrote this beautiful, beautiful piece of hockey history called A Guy Like Me, which everybody should be forced to read who watches this game. I'm going to make my daughter read it when she's old enough. He was with them. He was all about it. And you know what? He never should have been in the first place, because the fact that the National Hockey League can collect from fighting in a video game, can collect from basically selling professional fighting, which I don't have a problem with.
Of course,
and then shun this man like this. He was the best part of the show. I don't care what skill you saw tonight. It was absolutely the best thing to watch the whole night, and I am super freaking proud of JohnScott. I'm super freaking proud of NHL fans for making this happen. And
his jersey sold out within minutes.
And it should. Get this, Jake. Get this. Yeah. I had guys here in Europe. I mean, I live in Germany, for anybody that doesn't know, or ever joining us for the first time. I had guys that don't know anything about hockey that were saying, this is fucked up. I'm buying a JohnScott shirt. And I told them, good luck. I mean, this was the best thing.
On eBay right now, I think just a T-shirt, like a JohnScott All-Star T-shirt, going for $100. You know what? This guy, he's a modern day Cinderella. Think about it. Sunday when the clock reads 0.00, it's gonna strike midnight, and he's gonna be in Newfoundland, and he's gonna be playing for the Ice Caps again. And this is gonna be something that he's gonna remember for the rest of his life, and we're gonna remember this. And he's just gonna go back and just bounce around the league and hopefully get a chance.
He will never be in the NHL again, even if they need him. They will punish him. Yeah. I guarantee you. I think he wrote that article knowing damn well that he would never see an NHL team, even if they needed him. If they need him. One of the most beautiful things is I was watching the Canadian broadcast, is watching Brett Burns, who was his teammate last year, talking about, people talk about Corsi, but I wonder what the Corsi is like when a player like JohnScott is on the ice. It's first of all, coming from a skilled player like him, and these guys know much more. They're on the ground. I mean, I look at it from a soldier's perspective. Who do you respect, the armchair general or the general that actually walks on the field of battle? And Brett Burns walks on the field of battle. He will know it better than any writer ever would like to hope.
I mean, I would like to really know if there was a player that was actually upset by by this going on.
Well, he'd be bright enough.
Most of them probably don't want to be there in the first place.
Well, that's another thing. Let's get to that. Let's touch on Yager real quick. I don't want to jump on Yager too much because Yager's given us a lot. He's going to be 44 next year. I understand why he doesn't want to be there. And I appreciate his honesty. Do you want to be here? No. Or should I say, no. But look how much it means to Yager, next to nothing. And look how much, even though he was the biggest celebrity there with Taze and Colby going out, and look how much it means to JohnScott. JohnScott did more for the NHL in one night than they've been able to do since Gretzky left, which wasn't much. And I'm super proud of the guy. I am blown the fuck away by what happened tonight. First of all, it was fun. Yeah, the East blew it off. And I like some of the other stuff like the saucer passes. That's so awesome. That they got to fire over there and put it in those little tiny nets.
Yeah,
I dug they didn't have the goalie scoring thing when I was a kid.
That.
What's that?
I could never do that.
No, me either. I couldn't even do that at 100 tries, much less. If I got it over the little ramp, I would have been way happy with that.
There's like a backyard game now that's basically that whole concept. It's like horseshoes, but it's with it's like saucer puck, where like literally you take like you take your hockey stick and like a puck, and you got to shoot it into these little nets, and you get points just based on that.
That's really good stuff.
I think I only made 2 saucer passes in my life. And they were both they were both from my own end in the corner, and it was to one of my teammates coming onto the ice from the far bench and curling at the at center ice, and I put it right over the defenseman's stick both times, and never do it again.
It's simply not happening, is what you're saying. No, I was always really terrible at it, but it's really fun to see what these guys can do. But
it's
what's better than a storyline? Deadly Threes. Hello, friends. Going to be honest, I was sad that I saw JohnScott didn't score on the second shot. Well, I think it has something. First of all, I'm glad they didn't give him anything. Second of all, it doesn't matter. Deadly 39. It doesn't matter because it was all about being there. All he had to do was show up. Hey, guess what, guys? He's one of us. He's a fan that actually plays hockey. And he does one of the most difficult jobs in sports, and that job is pretty much extinct pretty soon. And it shouldn't be extinct, judging by the reaction and the storyline that we're seeing right now. We connect with those guys better than we connect with guys like Patrick Kane.
I mean, look at him. He's actually really good friends with Patrick Kane, and just the reaction that he had when Kane got booed,
it was too
and then
funny.
when he came up to him, he was just, you could tell he was like starstruck a little bit. And
sure.
The butterflies were going, and give him credit, 95-mile-an-hour slap shot from a goon. It just goes to show that even like being at like the lower part of your of the echelon.
The worst player in the league has a 95-mile-an-hour slap shot. Is that what you're saying, Jake?
Yeah,
90.
I'm not saying he's the worst player in the league. I'm just saying
all right, but let's face it. That's why he was put there. That's why Greg Wyshynski wanted to play this little game, because it was a big joke to them. And I don't believe for a minute that this vote started with the best. It wasn't like I wanted.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
No, it was an FU. It was an
he
FU
was like
to
the prom.
Scott.
He was like the ugly girl getting voted for prom queen.
Yeah,
and then it just got out of hand.
It got out of hand, and I'm glad it got out of hand. And now this guy's more over than he have ever been.
People are gonna follow this guy's career no matter where he goes.
Wherever he goes.
Could be playing in a beer league in freaking Germany down the street from you. People are gonna be following this guy.
There is no doubt about it. What were you gonna say, Jeff? I'm sorry.
Maybe Scott just had like 47 different emails and was like this one girl at my high school who just stuffed this girl at my high school took a bunch of ballots that people did for prom queen and voted herself for it.
Yeah.
Maybe Scott had 47 emails and just voted for himself.
Yeah, he did. But I mean, let's not forget when John was according to John, he was told to turn this down and try to slow it down, and he did exactly what he was told. And when it picked up steam, because it had nothing to do with him. In fact, this is how ignorant the NHL is. Not only did not know this is going to make them tons and tons of money, they thought by intimidating Scott that somehow he wouldn't get in the All-Star game, or he would actually bow out. Everything had the opposite effect. This tells me a couple things. A, the goon in the league has a 95-mile-an-hour slap shot. I will never get over that.
Engineering degree.
Yeah. And the NHL will never be a big-time league in North America or Europe or anywhere because they have too many ignorant, and I will go this far, evil fucking people run this league. Bad people. And I'm not one of these guys that say all corporate people are evil because they're not. No. But these are horrible human beings.
The fact that they brought up his kids are going to be ashamed. No, you know what he's going to say?
I bet they wouldn't have done that to his face.
Daddy got to play. Daddy just punched people for a living on ice skates, and he got to play in an all-star game.
Yeah.
You know?
That's the thing. It doesn't even make any sense. Like, do you think this is something your kids would be proud of? I'm like, me being in an all-star game? Yeah, I think it would be. I mean, like, how much you want to bet that came from Colin Campbell's mouth? That's my biggest suspect for this. It came right out of guessing, because I probably could get in trouble. I bet it's Colin Campbell. You know why? Because he was one of the dumbest managers, coaches that the New York Rangers ever had. You know, his statements over the year have been mindless. You know?
Yeah.
He took a Stanley Cup winning team and drove them right into the ground. Colin Campbell. If I had to guess, it was him because he's just that stupid. And he's probably going to be the reason the NHL loses their concussion lawsuit because the federal judge just opened all his stupid-ass emails where he sends one dumb thing after another. More than likely, it was Colin Campbell. Spread the word. That's what I think. I don't know if we're
getting an NHL executive on the show.
Yeah, sure. I don't give a shit.
That was never happening.
Yeah, that was never happening either.
I've been trying to get Chris Christopoulos for the past fucking 2 months.
Fuck that guy. He stole our. Fuck Chris Christopoulos. I called it Hardcore Hockey Radio, and then all of a sudden his boy was, and he doesn't even have the biggest podcast as we do anymore. We fucking crushed them. He does not have as many followers.
Having an NHL player.
Yeah. They act like the biggest thing on earth. They're on fucking YouTube. I'm sure we crushed them. I guarantee if they started on YouTube tomorrow, they wouldn't get more.
Oh, by the way, shout out to our good friend Dave Schneider at the Zambonis for writing the song that needed to be written about.
Absolutely, that's a real good. Dave Schneider, the Zambonis, the world's only full-time hockey band who we actually interviewed right here. I've been listening to Zambonis since I was about 17 or 18 years old, and that was a long damn time ago. They wrote a song about JohnScott. I can't play it now because I want to get through this thing, but I promise you, when all the footage comes out, I will cut a badass video about JohnScott in this video. I guarantee you I'm going to do something really special with this song, and I'm going to try to spit it out as soon as possible because I know there's a bit of a timeline on that shit. But I got a lot of live broadcasts to do right now, but I will spit a JohnScott thing that hopefully he will see and we will all remember, because tonight, we look, hockey fans, we made history tonight.
Look, we're sitting here talking about skills competition.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, come on. Everybody knows that a lot of. I mean, it's entertaining, but everyone knows that these are jokes. Mm-hmm. That these. I mean, and you know what else goes to show? It goes to show. You have Taze and you also have Ovechkin not wanting to go.
I guarantee there's better ratings this year.
People were begging for this guy to be in this game because he didn't belong there. But I mean. But
this is the thing. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Yeah. I'm sorry. Finish.
No, I mean, but now this becomes a thing. If they do allow voting in the NHL, is this going to be, for the fans, even though they say they're not, if they go back to it, is this going to become an every year thing? Because I don't think it should.
No. This is a complete freak.
It would lose it.
We're seeing a freak. I've had a few said by Campbell hashtag. Nicholas. You write hashtag JohnScott said by Campbell. That's my guess. I bet that's the case. No, I had somebody said to me, well, maybe the NHL did this on purpose to create interest, sort of like you're always saying that what's his name, TJ Oshie hit the right note and had it planned, which I don't believe. But I don't believe. Here's what I said to the conspiracy theory: they're not that smart. To do a work. I don't think Vince McMahon could come up with a work this great. It is on his best day.
It started off as a joke, and I think just people are like, yeah, let's put him in. It'll be good.
This did happen something. I think it was, what was his name? Rory Fitzpatrick. I think it was in 2007, if I'm not mistaken. Rory Fitzpatrick. And I guess because he He had a ridiculous goals against average as far as bad goals against average, and they tried to do it for him, but he didn't quite make the cut. But I think it also shows you the power of Puck Daddy. Puck Daddy has serious power.
Oh, yeah.
And Greg got this thing going, and Greg fixed it because he knew it was probably going to blow back his way, and it was blowing back his way. A lot of guys like Adrian Datter and a lot of his guys were calling him out. I want to switch subjects real quick. I'm going to go with Jeff. Jeff, were you a little surprised about the amount of... Look, I get they're a rival. Chicago's a rival. Are you a little surprised about the amount of boos that Patrick Kane got by Nashville?
I kind of was.
Me too.
I kind of was. Like I said,
I wonder if it had a lot to do with the rape thing.
That's what I'm going to ask Jeff. Jeff,
I was thinking more division rivalry, but then
it's hateful.
A little bit of both because Tarasenko got booed too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that was because those guys are in the same division as you. That was understandable, right. But it wasn't as deep as it was for Kane.
It looked like it bothered Kane.
Yeah, it did. He spent the rest of the night.
Conference. I'm on your side.
Yeah,
tonight.
I know.
Come on, Nashville. I'm on your side.
He spent the rest of the night basically trying to get them back in, and also because we really haven't heard
like
much.
The normal Patrick Kane tonight.
It didn't seem like him. He didn't even seem like he was having all that much fun. It seemed like he was trying to have fun.
Lock up all the women in Nashville.
The damn shame is.
That's right. There's going to be a honky tonk tonight with a very upset Patrick Kane.
I got a guy. What's his name? Dunphy. He's a bouncer in Chicago. He knows all about the Chicago nightlife. They haven't seen him since basically last year. He's not going out there anymore. And I heard a rumor that he's basically doesn't leave his girlfriend's side anymore. And hasn't left it since. And I'm not going to relive the whole fucking story of the whole thing, but he's not guilty. I mean, there's no evidence. The evidence points every direction but Patrick Kane. And it's a damn shame because Pat's done a lot of things to put himself in this position. He's done a lot of things to make him fan friendly, like beating up a cab driver when he was a kid. But it does feel like, and I don't care that Nashville booed him as a division rival. It does feel unfair, knowing the facts, and just as of a week ago,
it's Nashville, they're a little more focused on their country music. But...
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like
Speaking of which, I don't know who any of those celebrity guests are. Mike Fisher is married to Carrie Underwood.
Mike Fisher. He's on the Predators. I knew that. Yeah, and she's
I didn't know
singer.
who that guy was that he had come out and do the breakaway contest with. I'm like, who?
He's like a guy.
But they were going fucking nuts for him.
Yeah, no kidding.
They love their country music down there.
Well, you got to understand something. It's not even just country music. I mean, Nashville has some of the best, most enviable. Doesn't matter what kind of music you're playing.
Of course.
Studios in the world. I mean, these are the guys. I mean,
it is a real nice city.
I would love to go there. I would. I'm not a country music guy, but I would love to go to the House of the House of Cash.
I would love to be there. You know how I feel about country music.
I know you don't. And you're like a country boy too. You're in the Midwestern guy. I mean, we're the Jersey guys, and I would love to go to see. I would love to go to Graceland.
I want to go eat some barbecue down there. That's what I want to do.
I got to be honest with you. I mean, I got to be in the right mood. But I can do the whole barbecue country thing. I feel like I fit right in once it gets going.
Barbecue is an every 2-week occurrence.
I know, because I was when I was in the United States Army, all those friggin' Midwestern and Southern boys could be like, 20 below in the middle of January. Oh wow, we're in January, and these guys are cooking something, and they're treating the whole affair like they're going to the altar, like it's a wedding day at church. It's amazing.
Okay, I don't treat it like that, but
I bet you do. I bet you're like,
some
everybody
St.
shut
Louis
up.
Style ribs.
It's good stuff.
I'm not a rib guy.
Hey, everybody in the chat, 718-395-7660. I want to hear what you got to say about the NHL All-Star Skills Competition. I'm opening the lines right now, or add us a contact. Add us a contact on Skype, and I'll patch you in eventually. Make sure TPT is in effect. What we're talking about, and then we'll ask you what's on your mind. Just keep it in mind.
Tommy, I'm pretty excited for that JohnScott video that you're gonna make with the Zamboni song.
With the Zamboni song.
Like you said, you got to get it out because it's a timeliness thing. Just be warm with these timeliness things because you can get a bunch of hits on it, and then
You know what he's talking about, Jake? You got hit hard. I believe over time, because my Star Wars thing got hit hard when I bashed it. Now it's pushing 100 likes, and I don't even get that from my regular hockey broadcasts. I think over time people will get it. And now that you're talking about Dennis Wideman, I don't want to talk about Wideman too much because I want to keep things basically on the All-Star games. We have a lot to talk about, man. A ton to talk about. The more and more time goes on, the more and more innocent I think Wideman is. I think the mystery of this thing, and the reason he's going to get 10 games is basically because it's automatic.
The rule.
Why didn't he get a concussion check? And I thought the NHL's in the middle of a lawsuit. The referee got a concussion check. He's claiming the reason he didn't do this was a concussion. I believe him because he had no motivation. What's that? You don't want to miss it. But here's the thing: we're past that point now, Jake. You're right, we can't do that anymore. Supposedly, and these guys are in the middle of a lawsuit. How the hell does he stay on the ice? And I believe him. Here's like people that say you're fucking crazy and he just hit the referee. All right. What happened to Dennis Wideman prior to this to make him so angry to hit a referee when he doesn't have a history? He didn't point to the referee after he got hit. He just walked up and said, "Yeah, screw you," and showed no remorse afterwards because he didn't know what the fuck he was. I can't believe people can't understand. You never got your bell rung, you pussies. You never got punched. You never got hit. You never fell down. You ever get a concussion, Jake?
Yeah. No, actually, I've never had a concussion.
You're very, very lucky, I guess.
I hear, and I've been slammed pretty hard in the head, and I've never, just playing hockey.
You can't see, and sometimes you pass out, and sometimes you don't. I just don't understand why nobody's giving this guy the benefit of the doubt. He's got no history and no motivation. It wasn't like he was in an argument with the referee. And why hit the linesman, not the referee? He's the one that made the no call. He knocked down the linesman. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
It doesn't make any
I'm like, why
sense.
would he go? Why would he go after him? And it's just
he didn't. He saw him and put his hands up. It looks awful. Matthew Barnaby was right. He tweeted it right. Because when I first saw the GIF, which just shows him knocking him down, I was angry. And I think if you hit a referee purposely like that, you need to be gone. Not 10 games, not 20 games, permanently. So I'm no pushover and stuff like this. But it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. Let's put Jermaine on, see what he's got. Jermaine, you're on a very special Shot from the Point.
It's French,
hello,
Jermaine?
Guys.
It's French.
Hey, what's up, Jermaine?
What's up, buddy? What's on your mind?
Good, good. What's up, guys?
PK Yager.
PK Yager. Well, I'm gonna let you go. You're an experienced caller, so what you got?
PK Yager. Well, it was fun. I don't think he deserved the first place, but it was cool.
Well, who didn't
I think
deserve?
that first move he did to Yager, I mean, with PK, I think that was great.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And-
You know what? I think it was more fun this year than last year. They just didn't search to make some good move. Just be spectacular. That's all.
That's all it should have been. That's all it ever should have been.
Hey, I have a question. Were the Phoenix Coyotes represented in any way?
Yeah. Why wouldn't they even let JohnScott wear a Phoenix Coyote jersey?
Scott,
Who gives a shit? You know.
No,
Well,
but technically he wasn't representing the Coyotes.
No, he was representing no one, not even the Canadians.
He
Which
was
is
just
stupid.
representing himself.
Why did they just throw a Coyotes jersey on him? Like, what's the big
No.
deal?
He doesn't play for them anymore.
He
wanted
wanted
to
to
wear
wear
He
an
was
ice cap.
voted as
He
a
wanted to
Pacific.
wear an Ice Caps jersey.
Yeah, that'd be funny. Yeah, why not?
That would have been.
Why not? Why not? He's a
Yeah.
Pacific. He was the Pacific captain. He was voted legally, fairly. Whatever you think of the system, maybe it is bullshit. The worst thing about this is the media is going to get control of the All-Star voting from now on. So you'll see a situation where Patrick Kane's running away from it, and he barely gets voted in, or not at all.
Unless one of
Yeah,
us gets involved.
some writer that's 87 years old who hasn't watched hockey in 20 years.
Is going to make his decision. It's all, and then it's going to get political and everything else. I mean, the downside is when the fans pick it, the fans don't know what the fuck they're talking about half the time. Let's be honest.
The NBA All-Star game is even worse because you have players that have been like
They haven't been good in years.
with horrible injuries,
Yeah.
and they're like number 3 in the whole entire All-Star voting.
Yeah. The writing in Jordan.
I think one year Amari Stoudemire who like played 3 games and was still injured, was like leading, like he was like 4th in voting overall. It was something insane. Like
that's too funny.
Yeah, I mean, so you got that with the NBA. You got the Pro Bowl where nobody plays. You go on like the 6 reserves.
Therod Taylor's actually is playing in the Pro Bowl. How honored does he feel?
I got to be honest with you. Maybe Jermaine, because the worst point of the night for me was watching Lark and beat Mike Gardner's record, because that bothered you. I figured you'd be happy because it was a Ranger,
and he stumbled too.
And he stumbled.
Yeah.
And he shattered Gardner's record, which held from 20 years.
That's what I'm saying. I was impressed with it. I wasn't not happy about it. I was impressed.
Yeah, the fact
guy stumbled and shattered the record. Come on.
But he beat it by like 2/10 of a second.
That's shattering it.
Yeah.
Oh no, it is. No, it is. That's a big difference.
That's ridiculous. Mike Gardner. He's a great hockey player. I mean, he's
beat it by a second if he didn't stumble.
Look, when he was breaking that thing every year, because remember, he would break his own record every year, and the year that he had the fastest time, the Rangers didn't count it because he had a false start apparently, which I think they were screwing him because they were just so sick of him beating it every year. He actually said it, I think, in 1996 in the All-Star game when he was with Toronto. So it's 20 years this thing went, and Larkin stumbles and breaks it. It just shows you how these, how much better the guy. I mean. Fucking 1.8. Holy Christmas. What did you think of that, Jermaine?
Yeah, it was fast.
Super fast.
I was impressed.
That's all you can say.
It's
fast.
What?
Well, you know how much I
really
care about that, but it was.
Well, I mean, let's talk about it. I mean, you didn't enjoy yourself tonight? Be honest. If you didn't dig it, you didn't dig it. But I mean, I had a lot of fun, Jermaine. I enjoyed
myself. I enjoyed myself when I heard Jaromir Jagr saying, "Yeah, if I lost the first game, I will take my plane and go away. Sorry, Nashville."
Yeah, he's got to stop that shit. Yeah. You know what? He's got to stop that shit. I mean, I can understand. I like the fact that he was honest. Yeah, I don't want to be here, but it's really making him look like shit. This is why I didn't want him on the Rangers, to be honest with you.
A little bit.
You know what? He actually said that. Please stop voting for me. And then when
I thought it was a goof.
Everybody started voting for him.
Yeah, no. I know. That's why I thought it was a goof. I thought he really wanted to go by saying that. I thought he was that smart, but he didn't want to be there. You could tell.
No.
Jaromir Jagr does not want to be in the building, which is a goddamn shame. I think
he did like PK's bit though. He did like.
Yeah.
He did that.
I don't think. Well, that was a really funny line. He's my brother from another mother, or whatever he said. That was kind of cute. That was too funny. And the weird thing is, like, I'm not mad at Jaromir for being honest with the media. I am mad at Jaromir for not being cool when he got there. I mean, he really freaking hated it. And you know what? Because, like, look, I understand at his age he doesn't want to play 3-on-3 hockey. I get it, But, I mean, how hard could it be to get your picture taken on Friday, show up for the shit where you don't have to do almost anything? I mean, could you not be so European for, I don't know, like a second?
So you watched the Canadian the Canadian broadcast? If I
watched both. I flipped back and forth.
In the U.S. broadcast, he was interviewed by the other guy, and he was saying, "Yeah, I have fun. I have nothing to do, so I have fun." I mean, shut up, man.
Well, here's the thing about
you're making other players looking bad.
If you want to flip back, look at Daniel Alfredsson when they asked him, "Do you think he can win this series?" When he was still captain of the Ottawa Senators, he's like, "No." That's okay over here on this side of the pond in Europe. That's not okay in Canada and the United States. But the Europeans, they don't really understand the sports culture. If you want to talk about Jurgen Klinsmann with the USA soccer team, he's like, we have no chance of winning the World Cup. We don't think like that in North America. No. Everybody thinks they're going to win it all.
That's right. You know who else? You know who else we didn't have no chance of winning? The Revolutionary War. We took on the best army in the world at the time, and then we gained our independence.
Yes.
And now everybody gets to participate.
We used the French as a warm-up, and then we battled back the English.
That's right. And you know what? Back-to-back World War champs. Too.
Yeah. No one thought we could win those either.
Uh-huh.
How do you feel about that, Jermaine?
The Vietnam War, we weren't even trying.
No.
Listen, ladies and
we were
gentlemen.
by the time we got to Vietnam, we were like Yarmir Yager in the skills competition. You know.
Okay. I want to clarify something.
Okay.
You won war.
Okay.
We won 2 gold medals against you. Okay, so
yeah.
that's it.
Yeah, you're Canadian. You're not French. You're French like I'm Irish.
In the medal category in every single year.
You know what
we have a huge obesity problem, but yet we're shattering world records. We're fucking always top 3 in the medal count.
Yeah.
America, we just have the 2 ends of the spectrum. We got the really ridiculous, in shape people, and then we got the people from Supersize Me.
Yeah, like you.
Yeah, and they're right on this show too.
Yeah, but you know what's the difference? You have a bunch of people. I mean, like 100 billion people. We have 1 million people, and still we won 2 gold medals against you.
Whatever. We let you win.
That's right.
In America, everybody wins. We all get a trophy.
Yeah.
Just for trying.
Just for trying. You didn't know that?
Yeah.
You don't know that. For anybody who thinks we don't know what we're talking, that's the wrong button. But there's Jeff. Look at him. Looks like John Cena. Look like more like John Cena every time.
I'm about to put on about 50 more pounds to reach that mark.
What's the goal here? What's the end game with this working out like that?
Just one day he's just gonna die, and then he's.
Do you have like a tiny dick? You know, and like
no, I didn't.
No. You know.
Were you a fat kid in school? I want to know. Were you ever fat?
No, he wasn't. Never.
I know he wasn't.
I mean, when I was in 8th grade, like it went this way a little bit, and then I started working out a little bit, and I actually lost a lot of the fat that was like in my back pretty quick. So I got stretch marks on my back.
It was like next to nothing. It's ridiculous. Real talk's in the chat. Real talk. All right, buddy.
What's up, Real Talk?
I'm gonna let you go, Jermaine. Thanks for calling in, brother. And by the way, you're North American. You're not French.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, we're North Americans first. You know.
Oh yeah.
Too bad North America versus the world didn't work. Nobody cared. But I tell you something.
I thought it was. I mean, I was young and naive, so I was just like hockey. But you know, when you're like 13 years old,
I got a question for all 3 of you.
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna ask Jermaine. Are you rooting for the Central tomorrow? Do you want the Central to win, Jermaine?
I'm gonna root for a great spectacle. Honestly.
Okay, you don't care about that. Okay, Jeff, what about your division? Do you care if your division wins tomorrow or not?
I mean, I'd like to see Tarasenko put a few in. I'd also love to see.
What about your team winning tomorrow, though? Because we all have different teams here, except for me and Jake. We're on the same team.
Yeah, we're on the same.
Me and Jake are on the same team. Do you feel you don't care? You just want to show?
Yeah, why not?
Jake, how do you feel?
I want to see the Metropolitan.
I'm going to be pulling. I feel the same way. I'm going to be pulling for the Metropolitan. I want to win. Yeah, it's just me. Maybe because I'm just ridiculously competitive. But
okay, I changed my mind. So I want to see JohnScott score goals.
You want to see? I think that
I would like to see that too.
Yeah,
I want to see him get the MVP.
Absolutely.
Yeah, see,
why not?
Tommy, we were talking about a fix possibly being in with the players on that.
It didn't look at last night. They could have really threw him a bone tonight. They didn't do it.
I thought so. You know what? I thought when he did that spinorama move, I thought Corey Schneider was going to let that.
Nope.
And that's okay.
You know what?
That's okay.
It's good. It's good that he didn't do that because
it is. It gives it a little more legitimacy.
Because the guy's still a professional. You got to let him have his dignity.
Yeah,
he's not a kid with Down syndrome who's playing football.
Yeah,
you know,
or
it
blind.
was a great move anyway.
It wasn't a bad move. The guy hits 95-mile-an-hour slap shot and he sucks. Think about that. All right, Jermaine, I'm gonna let some other people call. All right, bud. Take care, brother.
You know what? He beat Aaron Ekblad.
Yeah, who's not too bad. Much better defenseman than he's ever been a forward.
Who was drafted in the first round, and JohnScott.
Yeah, he
beat him.
Yeah, think about that.
Younger than me, jerk.
Stoked, Wisconsin. You're on the air. What's going on, buddy?
Do you think that was right for the fans to boo Kane?
No, I don't. Well, it depends on why they were doing it, but I mean, do I think it's right? I think you should be able to do whatever they want. But if they're booing him because he's a rapist, that's a bunch of bullshit. He's not a rapist. But what are you gonna do? You know, people can voice their opinion every way they want. I think it might run deep with Southern culture too, you know, as far as disrespecting women. Here's the problem. He didn't do that, you know. I think it has a lot to do with just being in the South. You know, a woman's word and their honor are a little different than it is where I'm from, you know. If I'm from, if you're a bitch, you can say, get the fuck out of here, you bitch. Not down there. But here's the truth. he didn't do anything. He didn't even do what I just did. So I didn't like it. How did you feel about it, Wisconsin?
I just think it was a little bit wrong to do that.
It felt weird, right?
Yeah.
It felt weird.
Although it got a great reaction from JohnScott.
Yeah, JohnScott saw it like, hey, you're just getting booed because we're in Nashville. But I don't think that was what it was about, which is sad. I'm sure Greg Wyshynski's jumping up and down, and then, you should have brought a rape hotline number and put his picture on it and held it up. It might be it could be, knowing Nashville and knowing what the South is like and knowing what I know about South, it could be
there.
It could be something like this, bud. It could be, we know he's innocent, but he shouldn't have been going home with a girl like that. That's not good for a married guy. I mean, that's how it is in some of these places, even though they worship Johnny Cash. So if that makes any sense at all. But yeah, it could have been something like that. It felt weird. I didn't like it. And I really didn't. Look, Patrick Kane put a really bad taste in my mouth when I first got to know him. And then it wore off. And then I started to like him. And then this happened, and I got like, wow, what a creep. And then I learned the facts, and I realized that he was innocent. There's just no way what was he accused of would happen. That's why he was never charged. The evidence actually points every other way. And the evidence points that the other person wasn't telling the truth, at very least. They were either crazy or lying. But I think, I'm glad you brought that up, man. It was weird. Pretty weird. Did you want to talk? What are you laughing at?
I know why you're laughing.
Why are you laughing? What happened?
Look at the chat. Just look at the chat.
Fuck the South, bunch of dumb rednecks. Oh, I miss this. What happened? I missed it. Come on, tell me.
No, that's it.
Wannabe New York.
What's that?
Jay just said except
Jay's a wannabe in New York. All right, you got anything else, Wisconsin? Anything else on your mind, brother?
Yeah, it just popped out of my mind a second.
Sure. What is it? Tell me.
I gotta think. I forgot.
Well, if you don't have anything, you don't have anything. That's the way the rules work.
Puberty going on there. I heard the voice crack.
No, I'm sick really bad right now.
Nah, you're going through puberty. It's okay.
Going through puberty.
So's Matt Kazar.
I'll just let you know it still happens when you're 21. So
it didn't stop happening to me till I was like 28. I'll be honest with you. All right, buddy. I'm gonna let you go. All right, brother.
All right, see ya.
Peace.
Thanks for calling.
You're a good man. It did feel weird. Let's talk about some good stuff. I'm a little negative. The Chewy thing with Brent Burns, I'm glad he go. The meme that came out about 2 or 3 years ago, they went with that,
good.
and
that
was good.
It shows that he understands what's going on online, but all these guys know. All celebrities
they're
know.
reading all the same stuff. I guarantee you, one NHLer watches us, even at least one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or at least
he'll never admit it because he'll get.
It can't. I wouldn't want him to. Admit it. Just make sure you come on the show when you're retired. That's fine.
Yeah.
I guarantee that's the case. There's probably one guy that at the very least knows the hell we are, and they all read this shit, and they all use it to goof on each other. The other thing was Yager's a brother from another mother when PK.
You know what? It's funny. I glanced away from the TV, and I just looked up. I'm like, what happened to Jaromir Jagr?
Got old.
I'm like, no. When PK was doing the breakaway, like I glanced away from the TV for a second. I'm like, oh my god,
he's a hunchback.
Well, I know he's getting older, but I didn't realize that was a whole metamorphosis. I know black don't crack, but come on.
Yeah, but I tell you something. No, black don't crack. PK probably looked the same 20 years from now. Yager, even like 2 years ago, still looked pretty young, but you can see that he's a 40-year-old now. You can clearly see he's 40 now.
Yeah, he's all crotchety. He doesn't want to be places.
He's not using just for men.
He's not using just for men. 718-395-7660. You want to talk about?
I don't want to be here. A bunch of kids. That's all it is. He's like an old man who has to go to Chuck E. Cheese right now. Because they said something like 15 of the players were not even born when he came into the league.
I know. No, Jeff wasn't born.
I heard.
Jeff wasn't born when he came in the league. Jeff was born in '94, so he came in the league in '91, and he won his first Stanley Cup, and then won another one in '92. '93 Montreal won, '94 Rangers won, so on and so forth.
Saying Larkin wasn't born when he broke Gardner's record. It looked like Larkin was a little bit confused on what he had to do when he was doing the solo run.
Oh, not falling, but that didn't really matter, did it? That I really like. I love Yager. I love the mullet from PK. PK is such a good promoter of the game. Say what you want about.
We love PK the person.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the hockey player either. He blasted a few shots over 100 too. He ain't no slouch.
He was. I think he may have came second or third between him and Stamkos. I'm not 100% sure.
I think
Stamkos
got second.
Yeah, it's Stamkos.
Because he was saying that everybody else said that Stamkos won just because Weber doesn't count.
I was trying to start a thing, but I'm pretty sure somebody's gonna do it. I wonder if JohnScott really did win the Twitter vote with the breakaway competition.
Hey, I put my vote in for that.
Yeah, really? I did too. And you know what? I clicked on the hashtag.
Yeah.
And there was a lot of people.
Yeah, I guarantee he won. They weren't gonna do it again. They weren't gonna do. That was an NHL 17 vote over the summer. That's what that was. Oh, look who won! A different guy wins every year. How is that possible?
JohnScott has won the cover of NHL.
Oh
15,
God, that would be great.
And it's the Ice Caps jersey.
Yes. Actually, the funny thing is, if he had an Ice Caps jersey,
JohnScott in the All-Star jersey is going to be the cover of NHL 17.
Yeah. Guarantee.
Make it happen.
Yeah.
Hashtag Scott NHL 17.
Did anybody catch?
Make it happen.
I don't know what.
Put it on Twitter. Hashtag Scott NHL 17.
Oh, hear that?
Fucking ride this into the fucking ground.
Let's ride this to the ground.
We just need Dave's guy Sal in here. He could get that up in like 2 minutes.
Oh yeah, we should do that. We got to start flipping that guy money. A lot of people are kind of asking him for too much. He does that for a living, and he just helps like Dave out. And then some folks were going to him, and I don't know, not giving him a nickel. So
hashtag Scott 2000 NHL
Scott 2017 NHL EA NHL 17 JohnScott. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Did anybody catch? I don't know if it was the Canadian and the American broadcast because I was watching both at the same time. Did anybody catch Malcolm? Like, what are you going to do on this relay thing? He goes, you see, there is hole, you shoot.
Yeah.
He was like, go do that.
Pierre, it's actually very simple.
You see hole, you shoot. Do your Russian. Do Jake Lake. Russian.
Yes. Be PK Soup. No, be Pierre Maguire.
How did it do?
Gino.
Let me be Pierre Maguire. Yevgeny.
You gotta get real close. You gotta get real close.
Get really close to the camera.
Hey.
Make sure your saliva gets on the person you're interviewing.
It looks like you want to make out with Schneider.
hey, Yevgeny Malkin, what are you gonna do in the All-Star game?
Well, I see a hole and then I shoot. I shoot in the hole the size of the Tiananmen Square.
You shoot in the hole, huh?
I shoot in the hole and I wait for opening and then I put the puck in net.
Do you use some magic mittens?
I will never be. Everybody says I'm creepy with Debbie. I'll never beat that. Wait till you watch that back.
Why isn't that Pierre Maguire so starstruck by everybody still?
Yeah,
the guy does it.
That guy played in the minor leagues. You think he'd be a little immune by now, right?
He was behind the bench.
He won a cup.
Yeah. You're like, oh my God, Mario Lemieux's here.
Yeah. Well, I'm just watching myself giving the tongue and giving kisses to the camera and saying Yevgeny, and it's creeping me the fuck out. I'm just watching
it was creepy.
Yevgeny. I can't do Pierre Maguire. Who was that guy? That guy that David Leggio, and he plays for the Bridgeport Sound Tigers over in Hartford. I wonder if they're leaving again because everybody, the Hartford Wolfpack, gone. Maybe they'll leave too. You know what? We talk about Hockey Siberia. It's Connecticut.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Connecticut's in such a weird area.
Yeah, it's like somewhere between.
They consider it the tri-state area.
Yeah, sure.
But you know what? I forget Connecticut's a state. Yeah. No disrespect to Dave Schneider. But you know what? Think about it. Half the state is New York, and the other half is New England.
And it's got WWE headquarters right in the middle.
Yeah, this is actually Connecticut is like issue in my wife's company because there's a New England office and then there's a New York office and nobody knows who to bid for Connecticut work.
Yeah, I know. It's just creepy.
It's a weird state.
Nothing, no disrespect to Dave. It's probably, it's right up there with Ohio with my like least favorite state. And the only reason Ohio is a little more is because I know more people that I can't stand from Ohio. So
didn't you have an experience last time you were here in Connecticut? Didn't somebody yell
Well, I was staying. I was in Meriden. But I got to be honest with you, it goes back farther than that. My last trip to Connecticut was fine.
Didn't somebody? Yeah, you smoked that cigarette.
Oh yeah, that's because I've been in Europe so long. Yeah, I went outside from a bar to smoke a cigarette on the street, right? All of a sudden, I got this New Yorker hanging his, yeah, you smoked that cigarette. You don't let it, you say, fuck you. And I'm like, what's this guy yelling at me for? And I'm realizing, you can't smoke in the street. You can't smoke in the street. I'm like, he was like, fuck you. I'm like, I don't know what the, and you think some Connecticut cop would have believed me? I'm like, look, I just got here. I just got off a fucking plane in Boston. They were like, yeah, right. Give me, as soon as I opened my mouth, he wouldn't have believed me. I've been home in years. Deb in Texas, how you doing? Did you have fun tonight?
I had a ton of fun.
Yeah, good stuff.
You're right. Pierre is the worst with taste. Pierre secretly has a belt like tucked in his suit or something.
Who's weirder?
Ready to
hog
tie Taze.
Who's weirder, Pierre and Dustin Bufflin, or me and Debbie?
I feel more uncomfortable with Pierre and pretty much any hockey player than what you do.
Yeah, but I'm pretty good.
That is honest. My honest to God opinion. Have you ever seen the Vine of Pierre of them at a Winter Classic or Stadium Series thing a couple years ago? It's a Vine of I forget who the lady was, but Pierre Maguire comes in the frame and just slowly skates closer to the camera. Yeah. It's the most uncomfortable thing I've ever seen in my life.
This guy's a professional hockey player, too. I mean, he played in the AHL. That's not a fucking slouch. Oh, where's Debbie going? I got to call her back. What the fuck happened? We got to let when these people call in, we have to let them talk. You realize that, right? Let me put her back on. There she is. She's back on. Yeah. She cut out for a minute. Hey, Deb, what's on your mind? Debbie.
Okay, is it back on now?
Yeah, no, something got screwed up. But what was on your mind now?
Okay, that was weird. Not to be like negative or anything,
sure.
But the booing with Patrick Kane.
It's kind of uncomfortable.
Well, it kind of was, but it was mostly because they hate the Hawks. They just do.
You think you don't think it had anything? Like, you would know better than me because that's your conference. But I mean, you think that had more to do with it? And
they booed Tarasenko too, and that didn't seem like a hateful.
Yeah, but it didn't seem hateful. No. Well, I mean, in fairness, look, I think at this stage, Patrick Kane's bigger than Tarasenko. That could change in a couple years, and I think we all can agree with that. But yeah,
and we also beat them last year in the playoffs. So
that's true, but they had no chance last year. I mean, are they really that stupid? Yeah, probably. It's Nashville. What do they know about hockey? Woo-wee! I like the fact that they'll country music. Here's another dirty secret. Most of Canada is a bunch of hillbillies, too, just like the States. They like country music up there, too. So, country music's pretty big up there. Do you like country music, Deb? I mean, you're a Texas girl. Deb? Ah, fuck. I'll put her back on. I want to know if she likes country music.
She must be in Connecticut.
Let's get her back on. Debbie, where is she? I don't even see her on here.
Canada kind of is like the South, only you replace the barbecue with poutine.
Let's put her.
No,
back
French. On. You see, it's fun. It's kind of funny how like that like everybody else is like so like cultured and modern on each coast. Mm-hmm. Like you have like Montreal, and then you have Vancouver, and everybody's like so like metropolitan, and then everyone else in the middle is just a bunch of hicks.
It pretty much is, and Canada is much the same way. They love country music too. I mean, there's a lot of country in Canada. Well, you like country music, Deb?
Calgary, the Saddle Dome, dude. Yeah, they have rodeos there.
Deb, you got country music? You like country music?
I love country music.
He
Thanks,
loves country
Jeff.
Music. You're like, oh, see, Jeff doesn't like. Yeah, he's like, well, you're really. See, Texas is not the South. It's not the Midwest, even though it's in the Midwest and considered the South.
Like its own country.
Yeah, it is. I told you what happened when I was in the Army. And fucking Lieutenant. What's his?
I like all music, but
really?
I like country too.
Country's a big favorite of yours. Well, I mean, my point is, country music and hockey actually mixes a lot more than everybody would think. Most of those hillbillies that play that game from Canada.
I was shocked when they said Picarina was a big country music fan.
It doesn't surprise me because there's German country music over here. It doesn't shock me. You'd be like where we're from in the Northeast.
Throw the Jew down the well. Throw the Jew.
Oh my God!
Probably. You just pissed off Pure. He's always correcting everybody.
In my country, there is problem, and problem is the Jew.
Debbie, Beetlejuice. Hold on, I want to hit on Debbie now. Debbie, Beetlejuice says you're a babe in the chat. You know who that is?
Is that Beetlejuice?
No,
it can't be Beetlejuice from the Howard Stern show, is it?
No, it's Hadar. I just saw his picture. It's Hadar.
Tommy JD was hitting on me too, so you have company as well.
I want to fucking hit on that dopey jarhead that fucked you up, like that treated you like shit. That's what I want to do.
Seamus.
Oh, what happened? I didn't hear anything.
So they went to meet at a park, and he couldn't get his stupid Google app working because all these fucking millennials nowadays can't even fucking piss without a telephone. And he was like, he got frustrated. He's like, fuck it, I'm out. Peace, bitch. Something like that. I'm sure he didn't say bitch, but he yelled at Debbie because he couldn't. He yelled at Debbie because he couldn't work his fucking phone. You know, that makes me upset.
That's really shitty.
It's really loud.
Damn. That dude was defending our country. I can't find Osama bin Laden. Fuck this. I'm going home.
I can get away with this because I'm probably something he will never be as a veteran because he's obviously got his head straight up his ass, and people like him get picked out after a while. It's like, wait a minute, you're not dependable. But not everybody in the military is wonderful.
Well, Tom, the only reason he joined the Marines is because he didn't have a GI Bill, so it wouldn't have a lot of, like bills.
So he doesn't want to be there? Is that what he said?
Well, he did, but that was like the main reason why he joined up in the first place.
Well, I mean, look, it's a give and take situation. I'm not going to judge him on that. But look, you're a professional soldier. You get something back. There's some benefits. I get it. You're doing this shit for a living, so I don't really have a problem with that.
Did he know how big of a fan of this show you were?
No.
He probably didn't like hockey because he's a fucking hillbilly from Texas.
Mm-hmm. Did he drive a really big truck?
No, actually, he drove a small Honda.
Yeah. And how the fuck he couldn't even find the goddamn place they were at? Let me tell you something. Debbie's look. I mean, think about it from I don't know, being a guy. I am going to find this park. It increases my chances of getting laid.
You don't know the things I've done for
sex.
I
was 14. I crossed Route 1. I crossed Route 1 on a bike to get laid. What the fuck is wrong with this guy? I'm not saying that Debbie was going to do that. I'm just saying you play the game, stupid. I can't get my phone to work. I can't get my phone to work. What a pussy.
I got done with a show in Montclair.
Yeah.
And there was a girl in Seaside. It was like, hey, you want to come down? I'm like,
that's only between you and me.
Fuck it, yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
And it was worth it. I ended up sleeping in my car because of how tired I was. It was worth it.
I'll tell you a funny ass story. This is 100% true. You can check with you can check with your father, your brother-in-law. I was there. We, as you know, I was kind of in the low end Jersey rock and roll scene. Everybody was trying to make it, and yeah, it wasn't my. Actually, I don't think I was in Warp Drive at that point, but the band Pee-wee was sort of in. He was they had the drummer, guitar player, rhythm guitar player, lead singer, and the real keeper, and that was Pee-wee. The band that they were in knew a rap group called AKP. They were from Clifton, New Jersey, and they open up for Kid Rock a week. I'm talking 1 week, and Pee-wee can back this up for me, before Ba What the Ba comes out. All right? So we go up to what's the one over in near Marlboro again? Birch Hill.
Birch Hill. Yeah.
Okay. Birch Hill nightclub. We go to see AKP. There's about 100 people there, all to see AKP, who are never going anywhere. Who they are opening up for? Who they opening up for? They're opening up for Kid Rock. Ba What the Ba breaks next week. It is not happening now. All right? And AKP goes up, so the local rap group goes up, and everybody's like bouncing and bobbing their heads. And then Kid Rock comes on, and nobody cared. because Ball with the Ball wasn't out. Otherwise, that place would have been packed. This guy eventually would go on to play the Super Bowl. And so they went on. We did because when you're in a band, you got to go over to other people's show to kiss ass and shit to show them you support them, whether you like it or not. With
being a comic.
Yeah, it's the same thing. You got to go to somebody else. But actually, I got to be honest with you. I don't know what happened to those guys, but they were awesome. It was. But I want to stick around Key Rock because I got a phone call, or actually got a beeper running those days. I got a beep, and it was from a Polish girl over in Linden. So I wanted to get home. So we start walking out the door, and I didn't think anything of it. And there's this smoking hot chick, and her tits are like pushed to fucking together like this. And well, you guys can't see me, but they were pushed together, and she's got the tie on the boobies, and it says Kid Rock on her. And then she was obviously some kind of promotion person. And she goes, as we're walking out the door, she goes, "Stop, you three, stop." Edgar Diaz was there, your brother-in-law was there, and it was me. And they go, "I will, if you would just listen to one Kid Rock song. I'm not going to give you a hard time. I'll let you walk out there. Just stay here for the opening. Just stay here for the opening. I guarantee you guys will have a good time. I know that he's not from this part of this, but you're going to love it." And Edgar said something like, "We know Kid Rock's is good. We just got to go, And then P-Way was like, "I don't know. Maybe we should give him a chance." Kind of fucked up. I mean, there was literally nobody on the floor. Everybody came to see the local rap group, okay? And then I just decided to be a wise ass, and I put one arm on my right up, and I put one arm on the left. And I said, "Get laid, see Kid Rock." And then I did it like, what do you call it? One of those balancing things. I forget the sign for Libra. Yeah. And then I started tilting to get laid, and I tilted slowly out the door, and they started laughing at the super hot chick's face. And next week, Ba with the Ba came out. And it would have been like, we probably could have hung out with the band that night, but I had to get laid in Linden, New Jersey.
Yeah, some girl you probably don't even remember her name.
I remember her perfectly. It was a good night, but it wasn't that good to fucking miss out and meeting Kid Rock and furthering an entertainment career. Dude, there was nobody there. We could probably sat on stage. It was the dumbest thing I probably ever did.
Well, it's like there's like a ton of bands that went through it, like Big D and the Kids Table.
Yeah.
But like right after that, they got pretty big as far as ska bands. Like they're from Boston, and I used to just see the guys like they'd always like come in to do shows like, "Hey, what's up?" They'd be like, "Hey, what's up, Jake?"
Let me ask.
And then they got their CD got in stores, and
next thing you know, they're big.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're big. How pathetic are guys, Deb?
Oh yeah, God. Yeah.
I want to ask her though. How pathetic are
they're not pathetic. They're just poops.
Poops? What do you mean by that? Poops.
They're just poop heads. Like
Shitheads.
They don't know how to act.
I don't know how to act, but that's all I think about all day and night when I was 7. Still do. That's all I think about is sex, constantly, all day, constantly. Can't get it out.
Well, I don't mean that. I mean like just talking wise.
Who wants to talk when there's sex to be had? I know I'm a pig.
Any guy from
Never mind.
I know I'm a pig, but I'm like a normal guy. I never did anything creepy. I never got arrested. That's all I think about. You know,
it's because you're a guy, but I don't think that way.
I know you don't. It's terrible, isn't it? We're programmed. Exactly. I got to keep the human race going. So far, I'm 2 for 2.
That's
I'm 2 for 2.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, I know what you want. Okay.
That's all I want. I'm looking at my wife, and she is big as a fucking house, and I'm thinking to myself, you know?
I'm too afraid to touch my wife.
Are you really?
I'm like afraid of like hurting her or the baby.
What did she tell you? Get away from me?
She told me I can, but still, it's
just... bang her senseless. What the fuck's the matter with you, big pussy?
No, I'm serious. I'm like really.
No. Like... Women are horny during pregnancy.
I've noticed that too.
I know.
Women are more horny during pregnancy, but here's the thing: like, it's like the vision of it and doing it is like 2 different things. It's like, ooh, this seems like a good idea, and then you start doing it, and it's like, this wasn't as cool as I imagined it. Finish up and get the fuck out of here. You know. All right, enough sex talk.
And it's like oh, the baby's kicking. Like,
save that for a Dead on Dave show.
Dead on Dave gets real uncomfortable too. Yeah.
Okay. Well, before I leave, I want to say something else.
Sure, go ahead.
I kind of disagree with you on the Kane thing, but he did look off the whole night. He did. He didn't do really well in anything he did. And in my mind, I think it's because he misses his captain. So yeah.
Oh, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I think he's fucking embarrassed about the rape charge.
I do.
I think. Okay.
Well, I do. Okay.
Okay. There
it's
you go.
important.
And we have a report in from Debbie from
You know what,
Texas.
Debbie, you're right.
We know you're actually right.
Thank you.
But right. you don't think that 100%. This? I got the feeling that he was kissing the crowded ass. I think this. In all seriousness, Debbie, I think it really bothered him. I think he knows what this is about. You know.
Well, yeah, because he's smart.
It's not that he's smart. It's just I think it hurts his feelings. You know? I mean, who would... I cannot imagine being blamed for something that horrendous. Can't imagine it. I can't even...
Yeah, I can't either.
I can't really... Like, I mean, all right. Imagine somebody look, let's be honest. Imagine a woman you knew accused you of molesting their children. And it was just complete bullshit. I mean, that's just like, how do you live that down? And he knows that's where some of the boos are probably legit. You know, just like good, friendly, you're a heel from the Chicago Blackhawks.
For the Blackhawks. Boo.
Yeah, but I do. I'm sure he misses Taze because Taze would probably
Can you imagine if the All-Star game was in Buffalo? That would be
I think he would have got cheered. I think he would have got cheered there though.
Yeah,
he's in Buffalo.
I think it would have been.
He got cheered before in Buffalo, so he would probably get cheered.
He's gonna get cheered in Buffalo.
I think it would have been.
How much you want to bet he finishes up his career over there? Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, he's going to. One day he's gonna go. When he's old like Yager. And you're gonna be old too. You're gonna be my age. You're gonna be like, remember Patrick Kane?
I guess when Kane's career's dead, that'd be the perfect place to go because that's where everybody's career goes.
Patrick Kane's retiring. Man, that's more like me. Come to think of it.
Real talk. # Debbie's voice.
All right, Deb. I'll talk to you later, man. Talk to you later.
Okay.
You're the best.
See ya.
Deb, Texas. 718-395-7660. You want to talk about the goddamn All-Star game? If you don't, talk about sex with pregnant women. I'm okay with that too. Let's see, what else do I got? The penalty's only a minute tomorrow. Did you know that? I guess they're going to go 3-on-2.
Really?
Oh, the penalties are going to be a minute?
Only a minute. Only a minute.
What happens if there's 2 penalties?
3-on-1?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good question. I didn't fucking think of that. I don't know. What the fuck do I look like? If there's 2 penalties, you have to put on a Chewbacca mask. I don't fucking know. You know,
you have to dress up like Yager.
You
know, another thing that we're not talking about is they had the NHL mascot.
Hold on, Mike. We'll be right with you. Go ahead.
NHL mascot competition. Now I saw.
Oh God, who cares? All I know is that
it was fun. Come on, dude. You can't be so cynical about everything.
That is something you would watch, and I would just vomit over. The only thing I thought was funny was the racist gun. On PK Subban, every time he shot the puck, he said, you didn't shoot the puck. You're black. Did you notice that? He shot the puck he shot the puck more than any guy last night. And he couldn't get a score. You know? Can't sit in the front of the bus, can't fucking get a shot off. You know? I don't know. Poor PK. Mike in LA, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you guys?
You tell me. What's on your mind tonight? What do you think of the show?
What do you think about LA hosting next year?
Oh, just give LA everything. They just gave him my football team. So
yeah, there you go.
Let's give him the All-Star game now. Let's give him a Powerball winner.
St. Louis
why not?
St. Louis was supposed to host, but LA bought him out.
Really? I don't care. I don't care if it's in Jabib. It doesn't bother me at all. I don't care where they do it.
I really don't care.
I don't care if they do it in LA. I don't care if they do it down the street. It doesn't make a fucking difference.
Yeah,
to
I'm
me.
pretty sure I'm going to go into work tomorrow and they're going to say, "Oh, we're going to need paramedics for the All-Star game next year." Whatever.
Oh, really? Oh, you're. That's right. You're. This is Lawson, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're screwed. You're screwed. You're gonna be working that night, and then some fucking guy's gonna OD on heroin. You're gonna miss the whole goddamn game.
Yeah, and it's gonna be one of the Kings.
Someone will say Patrick Kane raped him.
I think you should just pull a Jonathan Taze and be sick that week. And then I don't know, put on a Superman cape like Patrick Kane and just show up, and everybody just thinks you're just some weirdo. You know?
Yeah,
that would be my move.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, have you worked other All-Star games when you're an ambulance driver?
I've only been with the city for at least maybe 3 years now.
Yeah.
So
you at least worked one of them.
It was different days.
Well, they owe you.
Yeah.
Screw these people. I mean, you have people dying in front of you all the time, right?
Not all the time.
But it happens at least like once a month, right?
Yeah, I'd say at least maybe twice a month.
Twice a month. Okay. I mean, and the odds are you couldn't save him anyway. Why can't you go to a hockey game?
Exactly. Except now I'm not on an AMBO, I'm on a tiller, if you remember what that is.
What's that? A tiller?
Yeah, I'm on an aerial ladder truck. I'm basically the rear driver on the truck. So.
Oh, okay. So you don't have to touch any of the dead people, do you? You just have to say, go, go, go.
I'm still a registered paramedic, so I have to still do that stuff.
Oh, you still have to do that?
Yeah.
Be honest with you, it doesn't bother you anymore, right?
Nope, just learn how to basically deal with it and get on.
Yeah. How long did it take you to deal with it? Like, did you have to go to a therapist or something?
At least maybe 6 months after I got out of the academy. It took me about that.
Oh, really? So,
yeah.
I think I could deal with it.
Yeah, they have legally, they have to have us go see a therapist.
Oh, yeah, well, you should. You should. Well, see, I'm a sociopath. It doesn't bother me at all.
I was on a first aid squad for a little bit.
What's that? You did?
A lot of people don't. I was on a first aid squad for a little bit.
Would you like watching people die? This guy's in L.A., dude.
No, I know. Yeah, he's in L.A., but the one that I saw, it's not that I got like. I mean, what you do is amazing.
You're like a hero, by the way, Mike.
Yeah, you are.
Thanks.
But I saw a guy. He shot him. He was a corrections officer in like Bergen County. He shot himself in the jaw. He tried to kill himself.
Damn.
The guy's jaw was just literally hanging.
It's gone. I've seen that wound.
They had to get him onto a medevac.
Yeah.
And he was in the stretcher for probably less than 10 minutes, and just the amount of blood. Now it wasn't that got me. It was just. Okay, this guy who he ended up dying in the hospital after they medevaced him out.
Thankfully.
I'm like, this guy is like literally, was my responsibility, and I had to be on my toes and make sure that everything was all right. And
it's pretty deep, huh? A lot of pressure,
I didn't want
right?
that responsibility.
Yeah. A lot of people don't even know that. At least you got a sniff of that. I'm glad you did that, Jake. I'm glad you did that. That's what you got to do.
Yeah,
everybody should experience that.
Old ambulance squad when I was at a different station.
Yeah,
covered in blood.
Yeah,
it's always fun cleaning that out.
Top to bottom. I knew a guy that fucking got a symbol in his head at a show. I bet you never came up on that one. I knew a guy that he threw a fucking symbol off a stage and hit a drummer in the head.
Oh yeah.
And killed him dead right in the Birch Hill nightclub.
I remember.
But that had a lot of blood. I know there's a guy on my Facebook site who was covered in blood and that shit.
Hey, Tommy, where were you during 9/11 when that happened?
I was actually in. Well, when the plane went in, or when the plane went in, for some reason I worked from midnight to 5 a.m, and for some reason I woke up at 8 o'clock and I watched the whole thing. I remember trying to get through. I was calling my girlfriend and saying because I knew she hadn't left for work yet. And I said, if you get into Penn Station, cross the way, get right back in to Jersey Transit, get the fuck out of there because they might not let people out. And she went in early that day. I spent the rest of the day driving through Hoboken to Newark, back to Hoboken, back to Newark because she might get a ferry and it might land in Newark or it might end in Hoboken. We bounced back and forth the whole day trying to pick her up. She actually was a witness of the second plane when they went in the roof and watched the first building start burning. That was my day.
I was actually in high school when it happened.
You were in high school when it happened, man.
Yeah, but it happened like in the first or second period of the day, and then all of a sudden, like the first plane hit, and somebody said like, "Oh, plane hit the World Trade Center." I was like, "It's probably some drunk pilot," and then all of a sudden, when the bell rang, everybody's in the hallway just freaking out.
Yeah, I know.
Like you have like people running and like. Crying and like just like running to pay phones because cell phones weren't that available
yet. Because we're like most of our parents and shit work near there, and it's like get home. That was our reaction.
Like I get into my next class and it was my my heating and cooling shop, and the shop teacher's like explaining to us, and he puts on the TV. He goes, "This is what's happening right now."
Good for him.
And I'm like, we're like all just watching in such disbelief, like we don't know what happened. We're like at this point nobody knew that it was terrorism. Nobody knew. Like we just heard.
The second one went in. I got to be honest. Second one went in. I knew it was Osama bin Laden because that night I told you I worked overnight. I used to work for an internet company. I had just read the FBI 10 most wanted list, and I remember the Osama bin Laden was right next to Whitey Bulger, so I knew immediately who it was when it happened. Is that? Let me ask you something, Mike. Is that like the creme de la creme? Did you guys like talk about that? What if we were on duty during 9/11? Is that like you guys talk about that? Is that why you brought that up?
There's a couple guys that do that are senior members of the station, but I'm a junior, so I can't really say.
Let me tell you something. I had a radio, a scanner. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I had a scanner open at the time. Here's what it sounded like. I had first-rate scanners before everything went digital. Here's what would have happened to them. They would have got fucking killed. So you just tell them that there was no hero bullshit. You either got hit by the shit, it fell on you, or you didn't. There was no hero shit. Because I know the kind of guys you work with, because I was in the Army with guys like that. Tell them they had no chance. Zero.
Exactly.
The building fell on you, or it didn't. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Doesn't matter what. And I'm sure you have some bad motherfuckers you work with. They ain't that bad. Tell you that. Exactly. It fell on you or it didn't, and nobody could even talk to each other. It was just complete. Because I had a scanner. I'm really into radio, if you haven't noticed. And it was just, and I had Manhattan on my scanner, and it was nuts. It was just completely insane.
Yeah, my uncle is a retired FDNY firefighter now, but he was there.
Yeah.
Me and my tower when the second tower fell.
Jake's brother-in-law. We were working with a guy that lost both his uncles on 2 different ladders in New York.
Shit.
Yeah, so I'll give you an idea like how that hit home. All right, I'm tired of talking about this shit. You're freaking me out. But you should have called me another time.
One of the most sad stories that
stop it! Everybody stop it! Everybody stop it! I'm freaking everybody out. Okay. Jesus Christ! All right, Mike. I hope you guys get the damn All-Star game. Enjoy JohnScott tomorrow, all right? Talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Enough of this shit. Jesus Christmas. I mean, I like these conversations, but holy crap. Yeah. It's better for live than it is for this. We're in a live type mind. All right, 1 minute penalties for tomorrow. I don't know if Guy takes 2 penalties. That's not going to happen. There's going to be 1 penalty the whole night.
JohnScott's going to get the penalty. He should just get a fighting major.
I wonder if they're talking about that. You name the player. I'm sure you can figure this out. Only player ever to get a 5. There's 2 players, but one of them's known, one of them's in it. Name the player that got a 5-minute major in an All-Star game for fighting.
Oh, shit. He's in it now?
No. There's no way you can't figure this out. There's been 61 All-Star games. So that means it goes about 70 years with skips. Name the player that got in a fight. The only player in history. I obviously got in a fight with somebody else that got a 5-minute major. I should say the only Hall of Famer. Guy's in the Hall of Fame. That's all I'll tell you.
Gordie Howe?
You damn right.
Okay.
Gordie Howe. I don't know who he got the fight with, but that was an old trivia question that I saw a few All-Star games back. There's one.
That was
all
good,
right,
yeah.
Let's go through there. We got a racist gun that hates PK Subban. They were playing for first or second. I was shocked.
The only gun that won't hit a black guy.
It's a freaking shot clock on a slap shot. I was shocked that the Eastern Conference even knows they kicked. I don't know what the final score was, but it was just like ridiculous to a little. Eastern Conference wins. They decided to play first, which shocked the shit out of me.
Ooh, the Eastern? Yeah.
Yeah. They decided to play. I want to play second. I don't know. To me, I want to play second. But, hey, whatever. We talked about Yager. We didn't want to be there. 1-minute penalties. Malkin was funny. Mike Gardner got his record fucking smashed. And JohnScott has his 95-mile-an-hour slap shot. Can you believe that? He's a goddamn goon. For Christ's sakes. Can you believe that? Yeah.
Yeah.
You got anything else, Jeff, before we get the hell out of here?
That's pretty much it for me.
I'm pretty much done. I'm tired. It's 4:37 in the morning. I don't know what I do it on. And we're talking about fucking 9/11 and
I
shit.
feel you. I've been doing homework all day.
Something tells me that's not going to be a flashback.
I had problems with my water pressure today. That's what I was doing. Almost $200 spent to a well guy. Yay. That's what I
did. You have to do any of the work?
Frenchie Ben's calling in. I thought he was going to call in the whole
show. I did a little bit.
All right, Frenchie Ben, how were we with that fucking ridiculous 9/11 story? I'm sure that's going to end up in a clip.
The whole show was good.
It was good.
I wanted to
a little
call
weird
after the 9/11 talk.
You know why it was dark? Because I get weird at 4 o'clock in the morning. That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's
really
always
going to start talking about Darfur if it goes on for
You know what I'm going to do after this? I'm going to turn on some fucking serial killer crime documentary and fall asleep to it. That's how fucking weird I am.
Making a Murderer?
Making an All-Star by JohnScott. You ever see that one? All right, what do you think, Frenchie? Give us your review and let him do it.
I liked the skilled competition. I liked Dottie's smile in the beginning and Brent Burns' look. I also liked, let's say, James Neal. He took 2 pucks to score a goal. And also, we saw Lil Burns and Lil Pavelski. Lil Burns danced really well.
Yeah, Lil Pavelski was friggin' everywhere, wasn't he? You know?
Mm-hmm.
Lil Pavelski was there. He looked like he was hanging out with the big celeb JohnScott all night. That's what it looked like to me. You know,
and I haven't seen Star Wars, but at least I saw Chewbacca.
You sure did. You sure did.
You haven't seen Star Wars yet? How did you get through all the spoilers? Or do you know and you just don't care?
Oh, I'm sure he knows them by now.
I think Han Solo is dead.
You know there's some idiot in the chat. Let's fuck up! I think the statute of limitations is over
Frenchie
on that.
Ben ruined everything. I'm not his friend anymore.
Yeah, right?
I actually lost friends. I told you guys that.
Well, you lost.
I talked
you lost the right
my
friend.
best friend about it, and he saw it this week, and he says to me that it's the biggest pile of shit he never saw.
It's garbage. It's not even the biggest pile of shit. It's a well-polished turd, is what it is.
Oh, a well-polished.
It's it's shiny. You don't even realize it's like you see from that. It's like that's really cool. And you get close. Oh, it's shit. It's just shiny.
So it's better than the Roman Reigns promo.
It's probably better than the goddamn original ones, or the original remakes, or whatever the fuck they prequels. I don't know.
You know. Speaking about wrestling, a friend of mine, we're talking about the least effective finisher moves. And
the bulldog.
The bulldog.
That's the move I hate the most. You
know? The people's elbow, because for whatever reason that elbow drop hurt more than any other elbow.
The most electrifying move in sports entertainment.
It's still cool. Yeah. I tell you, I went to a house show in Madison Square Garden. These two fatzos that were in some fucking wrestling thing that nobody ever heard of. Like, The Rock does it, right? And the place is just electrified. Ha ha ha. And they're standing up pleading with the people. It's just an elbow drop. I'm in wrestling school. That's an elbow drop. Shows you what they knew about wrestling.
Also, Scotty Two Hotties the Worm. Like, for whatever reason, it was a devastating move when he did it.
Yeah, I know.
Or when Santino did the Cobra thing.
Oh, Jesus. What happened to Santino?
We also, my friend and I were also talking about, like, Mick Foley and, like, how he was such a bad technical wrestler that awful. His finishing move was literally him shoving his hand down your throat.
That wasn't always his finishing. He used to do some weird thing where he fell off the rope when he was catching Jack, but I think somebody told him, you keep doing that, your career's going to be short. He had another move, so he just did the mandible claw.
Did he do something kind of like Dirty Deeds?
I forget. It was pretty brutal. It was a bump. It was a move where you have to take a bump or something like that. All right, listen. This sounds like Shopping Point Live. Thank you very much, everybody, for being a part of the NHL Skills Competition After Party. We're going on pregame for the NHL All-Star Game, and right afterwards, we'll see you guys all tomorrow. Thank you very much, and good night! Hey, come on.